This is literally like my dream night, and I'm not kidding. It is 5:30 p.m. I'm freshly showered, fresh set of sheets, freshly shaved legs, my full water bottle right next to me, my candle warmer is on. I just ate my girl dinner, which, in case you were wondering, was composed of strawberries, cantaloupe, a few slices of cheddar cheese, a little like homemade Snickers bar, if you will. It's basically a date covered in chocolate, peanut butter, and sea salt. I made them today and they're really freaking good and I'm like obsessed with them. This is actually the start of my weekly reading vlog. So welcome. If you're new here, my name is Reagan. I love to read. I'm gonna tell you what I'm reading this week. I'm kind of just mood reading as I normally do. I'm trying to get through my physical TBR. So we're trying to read books off of that. But other than that, there's no parameters. It's just vibes, whatever I'm feeling. There are two books that I'm currently in the middle of. Both of them are fantasy romances. One is my audiobook and then one is my physical book. The audiobook is the second book in the War of Lost Hearts trilogy. I don't have the physical copy and you can't get your hands on the physical copy at the moment, so I've resorted to reading it on audio even though I have the third book physically. I just don't have the second one. I have that on Libby and I'm reading that. I think I'm like maybe 20% of the way through. I didn't really love the first book. I rated it like 3 stars, I think. I just like didn't connect to the characters. There was nothing objectively wrong with it. It didn't click for me. This book is clicking. They said the word fae. I was like, okay, I'm locked. I don't know why. I've just been craving like a fae fantasy romance recently. Keep picking up fantasy romances, waiting for fae to be there, and they're just not there. And I'm like, well, damn. Gotta pick up another one. Then I have the second book that I'm in the middle of, my physical book, and that is The Never List by Jade Presley. This I picked up last week in Barnes & Noble physically, simply because of the art. I opened that cover and I said, okay, I'm sold, and then I purchased it and picked it up when I got home. This whole book is just like beautiful. Also, I've been in a very Kindle heavy mood, so I am reading it on my Kindle, featuring my new pop socket that I don't know if I'm 100% happy with. It doesn't match the vibes of what's going on my Kindle, so I might have to change that. I'm currently on the Ruby Air. I think that's the second part of the book. 25% of the way in, 133 pages. I think tonight my plan is to read more of the Kindle. I would like to put on some ASMR rooms, some rain sounds. That sounds amazing, and just binge. I'm going to be going to bed quite early because I have work at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, but it is 5:30, so I will be okay. Priorities tonight: read. That's it. I'm 31% of the way through. I have a few comments. I feel like the world building is a little bit clunky. Not like terrible, we've gotten past it mostly. Second, I wish that this was more of a slow burn. And I knew that it was spicy, but I still want it to be like a little bit of a slow burn. 30% in, and she's already like, wait, I'm kind of falling for that. Girl, I like the fact that we're getting to know each of the princes individually before we get to know them as like a group. I wish that each one was a little bit more of a slow burn, and there is one that I like more than the rest of them, which I think I meant to. I don't remember what the third thing was. Good morning. I just got done at work. I had a 5 a.m. shift this morning. I've now made a little bit more progress last night in my book. I'm actually 39% of the way through. I'm on page 200 exactly. 70-80 pages last night before I went to bed. Today, I think I'm really going to focus mainly on my audiobook. I'm going to listen to it while I make my bed, go on a little walk. I'm going to my parents' house later. A lot of instances in which the audiobook is going to be relevant today. First things first, I need to make my bed and I need to film my May wrap up because it's now June. I just have a few like things I need to do this morning. We're gonna see how many pages I can read this week. What's her name? Editing. What's her name? Literally myself. Editing Reagan will calculate that. Good morning. I woke up. It's Tuesday. Yesterday, I got a good chunk of the way through The Never List by Jade Presley because I struck audiobook gold. I went on Libby yesterday just to like see if they got anything in that was new, and it happened, but they got in so much new stuff no one had touched it yet. So I got to immediately borrow The Never List by Jade Presley. Super big coincidence. I immediately got to borrow Off to the Races by Elsie Silver, which was on my physical
TBR, and then I also immediately got to buy, or borrow, sorry, Shield of Sparrows by Demi Perry, which is not my physical TBR, but that is a book that I really would like to read because of the hype that's going around it at the moment, and I want to see like if it's for me. So if it's on audiobook, I can read it without having to buy it. Anyways, I'm going to be listening to my audiobook, and I'll also either reading the physical book or my Kindle tandem reading this morning until I feel like getting out of bed. My plans for the day: I'm going to do a deep clean of my room and possibly my apartment. We're gonna be listening to a lot of an audiobook. I don't know which one. Now I have so many options.
Last 100 pages, or 120. What does that mean? Oh, I know what that means today. Ooh. Is this a series? Not all the nicknames, one after the other. That was pretty slow. Okay, so that is definitely the first book in a series because it said to be continued as the end instead of the end. So definitely part of a series. Didn't know that. I wish that it was more like political fantasy rather than like the romance and the smut because I thought the politics we did have were really interesting, but I liked it. And I definitely think I'm going to continue on with the series. So I'm thinking 3.5 is where my head's at right now. I'll update you if that changes. As you can see, I'm freshly showered. I've got my PJs on. I started a new book because I wanted something lighthearted and fun that I could read on the treadmill and in the gym when I was working out. And I decided to pick up the first book in the Gold Rush Ranch series by Elsie Silver. I've been meaning to read this series for a while, and I have all 4 books on my physical TBR, and I got the audiobook in, so I'm tandem reading it on my Kindle or like in the physical book with the audiobook. I've read all of Elsie Silver's other books minus this series. Like everything else is read, I'm caught up on except for the series, and so I wanted to maybe read all 4 of these books before her next book comes out. So I'm like literally completely caught up with her backlog. I'm on page 122, chapter 13. Thought so far, the MMC pissing me off. He is like literally an asshole. He's growing on me, but like the first 50 pages I was like, I don't even like this guy. The FMC Billy, I think is maybe one of my new favorite FMCs maybe ever, but that's all I know so far, and I'm gonna keep reading it. I would love to get a good bit through it tomorrow as well, so actually finished this just now, but what I didn't realize was that the last 100 pages was like out of the gate, it was a prequel novella, so I'm not gonna read that at the moment. I might pick that up at a later date. I'm thinking 4 stars. Could be wrong, or not wrong, could change, but I don't think it's gonna change. I think this is 4 stars. Billy is me and I am Billy. Vaughn, however, kind of pisses me off. He is like trust fund baby rich boy, hot in some aspects, but in the aspects that he was giving, it was like, I know you would piss me off IRL. He was like so stereotypical rich boy, and he made so many like dumb decisions and like check your privilege, king. Like, I don't know, just figure it out. And then I'm about halfway through Children of Fallen Gods. Now I'm like really kind of motivated to binge read the rest of the books in the series because it was really good and I want to read more. It definitely wasn't as good as like the Chestnut Spring series. This being the 3rd series I've read from her, I'm starting to see like a formula that the series follow. And it's not a bad thing. It's just like I can tell the characters mimic a certain stereotype with each book in the series. Like they follow a like a formula, I guess, but I don't know what I'm going to pick up next, if it's going to be the next book in this series or if we're going to branch out. I want to be so viscerally obsessed with a book that I literally have no other choice but to binge it in one sitting. I'm missing that feeling, so I went and got a hot latte. I have the next Elsie Silver book, and I'm hoping that this will do it for me today. I'm hoping that I can literally sit here and binge this in one sitting. It's only 300 pages. I got that. But also, do I want to do something else? Like, I don't know. I'm just indecisive today. It's quite a few hours later. I've just gotten out of the shower, and I finished this book. I literally sat, binged the entire thing. Was it like 5 stars type binge? No, but it was just an Elsie Silver binge. Elsie Silver just has me in a chokehold with her men and her writing. I just flew through it. So I think I'm gonna rate this the same as the other one, 4 stars. In the beginning, like, I thought this was gonna be 5 stars for the first half. The second half slowed down a little bit for me. There was some things that literally had me jaw on the floor, like plot twist, jaw dropping. Do you even know what day it is? Like, have I really updated you? It's currently Thursday. The book I'm reading on audio, I always forget the freaking names of that series. I think 75% of the way through that now. Thoughts wise on that book, it's kind of dragging for me a little bit, which I don't know if that's a popular or unpopular opinion, honestly. I'm about ready for this one to be over. Probably gonna put some of that on while I cook my dinner tonight. I would ideally love to get that done like today or tomorrow if I'm being serious, because I'm kind of just tired of it. Anyways, big fat check mark on this. This is the second book that I've binged like that. So I'm very happy, very motivated. I want to pick up another book tonight. I don't know what it's going to be quite yet. Something probably very low brain power like this. Maybe even the third book in this series. I don't know. Maybe not. It's literally been raining all day nonstop. Perfect reading weather. I've literally done nothing. I normally work out 2 times a day, go on little walks, whatever. Today has been a lazy day. I've also taken 2 naps, 2 30-minute naps. So